I'll try to start from scratch so that all of us understand it. So go to Google Classroom. So here the first one, classroom.google.com. So please click on that. So for example, right now, I am a G Suite. I'm a G Suite member. Normal Gmail ID, personal IDs also can have a Google Classroom. So the first step that we need to do is, so this will take it to my homepage. So this is the Google Classroom homepage of mine. Already there are some classes. Do not worry about them. So right now, can you see a plus button here on the right? So please click on that. So when I click on plus, there are two options. One is join class and create class. So right now I'm an instructor, right? So I'm a teacher. We are all teachers. So we need to create class. So please click on create class. Now it asks us a few things: class name, section, subject, room. So please fill it up. So class name, let's say, let's say something. So whatever you want, you can put. So demo Hyderabad. So section you can put. So section A, let us say. Subject you can choose depending on what you're teaching, and room number something you can put. And then this creates a class. So create. The moment I click on create, it would create a new class with this class name. And for that class name, basically, it will create a unique code. So let it create. So once it creates, I should be having a unique code. Yeah. So now you can see. So this is the class that I have created just now. And what you can see on the screen is, you have a class code, you have a meet link. Okay. So we'll do it one by one. So first you can see a class code here. Just click on this. So now this is the class code. Now you can share this with your students. So let me just copy this, and let me now share it with the student. So now let me go to the student. Let me open the student account. Let us say this is one student. I'm using my another ID to show you that how a student can looks the Google Classroom. So here for him it's like click on it, and then he's a student, right? So join class. So he gives the class code there and then says join. The moment he clicks on that, he would be joining the class. So now let me go back to the teacher account. So this is my teacher account. So just give me a minute. Yeah. So now go to people. So here you can see four things: stream. So stream, classwork, people, grades. So now go to people. So teachers, I'm the teacher, Rakesh Roshan, and students. One student has joined. So he's already showing you that he's in the class. You can also invite students from here directly. So students plus either you share the code with all your students, they would join at their own time, or you can also invite the students. So click here, you can type in the mails of the students. For example, let me add one more student. So let me add one more student. So I'm inviting this student also to join my class. As I told you, you can just share the code with all of them, or you can invite them like this. Now let me go to that student, second student. And when he opens the Google Classroom, now you can see he has already received an invitation. Can you see it here? Decline, join. So now the student can choose. So the student can join our class. So yes, join. So let me go back to my teacher account. So this is the class, demo Hyderabad is the class. Go to people. So I just have to refresh it. Now there are two students for me. Now you can see both the students here, HOD physics and faculty. So H and F, let's call them as H and F from now onwards. Okay. So this is the class. Now stream, classwork, people, grades. So there are four of these. We'll discuss all of these one by one in detail. So let me start with stream. Now you can start, typing something. I mean, you can start sharing something. So first let's welcome all of them. So welcome all. to the class. You can just post it here. So you can see post. There are a couple of things that you can do here. One is you can post it right away or click this button next to post. You can also schedule the post. So you can schedule it to be posted at a later time, maybe afternoon or tomorrow, after 2 days. So you can do that. So right now I'll just post it. So the moment I post it, it will go across to all the students. So next what could be done? Now you want to share some reading material. So you can see here a add button. So add button is visible here. So click on the add. There are a couple of options. So you can add it from your Google Drive, or you can just add a link, let us say YouTube link or any other content link or any other material link. You can just put it here, or you can add a file, or you can add some link from the YouTube, so it redirects them to that particular video. So since now my intention is to share reading material, I'll just click on the file. So click on the file. So once again, you can choose the file from your uploads. I mean, you can upload it or from your Google Drive or shared drives. Let me just upload it. Let me just show you. Let me just do it from one file, so that let me upload one file so that it's clear to all of us. So anything. So let us say, yeah, this one. So I'll just say upload. So this material or content, whatever I'm sharing, would go off across my class. So once it is done, I'll just post it. Please find the chapter 1 content, something like that. So and then you post it, and then this goes across to all your students. So this way you can start interacting with them. You can share the material, you can share the content. Now you can see here generate meet link. Okay, so I'll just click on that. When I click on that, what it does is it will create a unique Google Meet link to my class. I repeat, when I click on generate meet link, it would create a unique Google Meet link to this class, my class, Demo Hyderabad, or your class, whatever. So whenever you want to take a class, the students can join using this link itself. So there are two options. You can make it visible to students, or you may not. So I'll just make it visible to students, and then I'll say save. So what this does, so this is the permanent link, Google Meet link for my class. So whenever I have a class, because generally every day we'll have a class or every alternate day, right? So you need not create a new Gmeet link every time. So this would be the permanent link for this classroom. Okay. Every class will have a different unique link. So now you can just go to this. So now that we have selected the class code, we can also do a couple of things. You can change the theme also. So I'll just, if you want to customize it, you can just select theme, upload. So you can select theme. If it is the English class, math class, you can select anything of your choice. I can also upload a theme. I'll just show you how to do it. So I just made some theme. So you can change the theme. So now it is showing, can you see here changing? So now it has changed the theme. So depending on how you want it to be, you can do that. Okay. Now go to this button here, the settings button. It will show you the class settings. So these are the class details, and this is the class code. Just now we have seen the class code, and there are a couple of other options also. Stream, students can post and comment. Students can only comment. Only teachers can post and comment. So depending on your necessity, you can choose any of these. So generally students can only comment is better, because you will be posting all the content and all of that, or depending on your necessity you can choose any of this. Meet link, it's visible to students, as we have told, we just discussed about it. Grading, I'll discuss grading a little bit later. Okay, so I'm fine with all of these. And class code, let us say your class has 50 students or 100 students. You have shared the code with all the students and all of them have joined. So you can also disable the code. So there are a couple of options here: copy, reset, disable. If you want, you can change the code. So you can use reset, it changes the code. If you want to disable, I mean, you don't want any further student to join your classes using this code, so just click on disable and that would be disabled. And once you make any changes, you can just save. Click on the right side, you can see a save. So click on that. Since I have not made any changes, okay, maybe let me make one change here. Student can only comment. So right side, you can see this is enabled, save button, and you can just save that. So these changes would be saved. So this is all about the class, how does the class look like, and students. So now let me start interacting with my students. So now go to classwork. Now you can see three things here: Meet, Google Calendar, Class Drive folder. Okay, Meet, I just talked about the Meet. So you click on the Meet, you can just right away start the meeting, and you can ask the students to join. So you already have the link, you can join now, and you can, once you join, you can start presenting. So present now, you can start presenting your screen and then start explaining. So I'll just close this. Or another way of doing it is you can schedule it from Google Calendar. So go to Google Calendar, and here also you can schedule the classes. So these are the different things that that I have. So for example, you post assignments and all of that, quizzes and all of that, so all of that also would pop up here. For example, so today evening 6 p.m. there is a assignment that's due. So all these related to classes would show up here. So for example, let us say I want to have a meeting. So you want to have a meeting, invited lecture. So now you click here, tomorrow, let us say, and then you add a title, invited lecture. You do not want to use the same link because that's unique to your class. So add Google Meet video conferencing. You click on that. Now you can see it has created a new link, and description you can say. So invited lectures on ICT tools, something like whatever is relevant, and you can just save that. So tomorrow this I have invited lecture. You can also edit that, in the sense you can add the guests, and you can add the guests whomever you want them to attend this. Okay, and you can give this link. You can copy this link. And then give it to your guest and the students as well, or you can post it in your stream. So let me just close this. So this is all about how to schedule a Google Meet session from the calendar, or right away you can do it from your stream or from here. Okay, that's about Google Meet and Google Calendar. What next? Now, so you have delivered your content, you have taught the students using your Google Meet, and now next thing is you have to give some assignments or quizzes. So how do we do it? Now the second tab here, classwork. So create. Now click on create. You can see a couple of them. You can give them an assignment, you can give them a quiz assignment, you can give them a question, you can give them some material, you can reuse the post, any of your available posts you can reuse, you can create a topic. I'll do all of these one by one. Let me start with the assignment. So create assignment. So when you click on create assignment, now you can see here. So let me give some title to it. So assignment on ICT tools. Now you want to test them, the backdrop. I mean, how much they know about ICT tools. So you can create a Google Doc. So basically what you want is you want the students to type in their answers. I mean, their whatever they know about the ICT tools, you want them to type in there and then submit it back to you. So that is what it is. It's like an essay. I mean, so you want them to write an essay or something, share their views, and then submit it back. Now the moment you do it here, I have just created a Google Doc. Now here three things would come. Students can view file. Now when you say students can view file, they cannot edit anything. They can only see this file. That is not what you want right now. Okay, you want them to write something into this of their own. So I don't want this. Next, students can edit file. Now when you say students can edit file, The same file, there is only one file here, that is untitled document, for example. The same file, all of them can edit. So whenever you are doing a collaborative thing, this is helpful. But right now I'm not collaborating anything. Collaboration means, all the students, you want all the students to chip in their inputs to the same file. I don't want that. So students can edit file. If I do this, only one copy will be there, and in the same copy all the changes made by the students would be visible. I don't want that. What I want is this: make a copy for each student. So when I click on that, this document, on their name, it will create a copy on their name. So just keep this in mind. And that's all. So you want to give them points. So let us say, you want to grade this for 10 marks. So give the points 10 marks. And due date, if you want, on the right side, you can set a due date. I prefer having due dates. So let us say tomorrow. Time is optional. So tomorrow midnight, let us say, and that's okay. So due date is done. Now topic. Now you want to put your content in an organized way. So in that sense, topics are useful. So let me create a topic. Let me put it under test. So rubric, I'll come to rubric a little bit later. Okay. So now go back to the top. So now I have given a deadline for this assignment, and I have given the points 10 marks. And which class? So I want to give it to this demo Hyderabad class, and all the students. Now the beauty of Google Classroom is it supports differentiation learning, which means across your class you can have good students, very quick learners, mediocre learners, and slow learners. Now according to their, the learning capability, or how quick they learn, you can give tougher assignments to toppers, and then you can give normal assignments to the slow learners and all of that. So if you want to do the differentiation, Google Classroom allows you to do that. In general, you just select all the students and then say assign. So there are two things here: rubric and plagiarism. Now rubric I'll discuss little later, maybe 5 minutes later. Now check plagiarism. Now I'll just click on this. Now please read this. For every class, he'll give only three plagiarism chances, or three originality reports. Now what is meant by plagiarism? Now your students can copy, I mean, because it's an essay, right? So they can copy from the web, or they can copy somewhere else, and then they can just paste it. So you never know, right? So when you click on this check plagiarism, it can give you a scope to check whether the content that the student has written is copied or not. So let me do that. So check plagiarism, I have okayed it, and then I will say assign. Or maybe rubric also I'll include here itself. So rubric basically, tells us about the breakup of the marks. For example, generally whenever we give a question paper, we give the key also, like introduction. You give a essay question, the introduction will have, out of 10 marks, introduction will have 2 marks, the content will have, let us say, 5 marks, and then the solution, I mean the problem that you give, will have some 2 marks. So that breakup. So how is this evaluated? So it's not simply you just give a assignment and then say, okay, write something about ICT tools. The student should be knowing how he is evaluated for these 10 marks. So this is an optional thing, but I'll just show you how to do it. So click rubric. It's not necessary that for each assignment you need to put a rubric. If you wish, you can put, else just ignore. Similarly, for this plagiarism also, it's not essential that you do it for each assignment. I'm just trying to explore all the futures. So if you wish, you can incorporate. So let me click on rubric. You can create a rubric, you can reuse a rubric, you can import it from sheets. Right now, let me create a rubric. Use scoring, yeah, because I am using it for scoring. Okay, so criterion title. So just let me just type something and then explain you what I'm trying to do. So backdrop. So let them give a backdrop of the ICT tools. So that would carry, let us say, 2 marks. Okay, so this is okay for you. Then you add one more criterion. So 2 marks is over. So total is 10 marks. Please keep that in mind. And then you say I'm sorry, and then you say clarity in content, and then let us say you give we already have given 2 marks, right? So let us say we give 2 plus 3 marks, and okay, so 2 plus 3 5 marks is over, so 5 more marks. And this one you can say, you can just say solutions, which means, I mean, something like you want them to come up with some solutions. So here you give complete 5 marks when the student has, let us say, he has provided good feasible solutions, you are going to give them 5 marks. Or so he has given you normal solutions which are not that great, so you can just give them 3 marks. He has given you they have given you just one solution, so since they have attempted, you just want to give them 3 marks. So he'll get complete 5 marks if he provides good feasible solutions at the end of it. I mean, normal solutions 3 marks and 1 mark. So that's it. So just save this rubric. So now you can see for yourself, out of 10 marks, so it's for 10 marks, 2 marks is for backdrop, and then clarity in content you're giving 3 marks, and then 5 marks maximum, for the solution. So 5 plus 3 plus 2 makes it 10. So just save that. So that's a rubric. So rubric criteria. So the assessment criteria for the assignment, this assignment, you are giving it in the form of rubric. So right, so let me assign it. So once again, you can assign it right away to your students, or you can schedule it to a later time. Maybe today evening you want to assign it, you can do that. So let me assign it right away. So let me say assign. So that assignment would be assigned to my class. Okay. Now let me create one more thing, quiz assignment. After I create the quiz assignment, I'll go back to the student view, and then I will answer the assignment as well as quiz, and then we will try to see the grades. Okay. So this is a quiz assignment. So when you click on quiz assignment, see, I have not created anything. By default, he has created attachment blank quiz. Can you see that? So let it be there, nothing to worry. So give the title, give some instructions if you wish. It's optional, so title is must. So I've given a test on ICT tools. Now this is important. So down you have this grade importing. So these are auto graded. This is a quiz which makes use of the Google Forms. So this is auto graded. So click on this grade importing. Do not forget to click on this. If you click on this, then only once they attempt the test, all their grades could be auto imported to your login. So please click on this. Do not forget it. So now click on this form. Now you have to give them a quiz. So I'll just put some 2 questions just for your understanding how to make a quiz. It is similar to Google Forms. So if you are aware of Google Forms, right away you can use it. If you're not aware also, do not worry. I'll just show you how to do it. So give a title for the quiz. Test on ICT tools. You can give a form description. Once again, not mandatory. So you can give the title. So questions you can start typing in. So first question. So Google Classroom is an example of. So now here you can have a couple of ways in which you can ask the question. So it could be a multiple choice, it could be a short answer, or you can have check boxes like true, false. You can have a drop down and all of that. So the most commonly used ones are short answer, multiple choice, check boxes, and drop down. So I'll just show you multiple choice first. So Google Classroom is an example of, let us say, CMS is the first option. Let us say LMS is the second option. Let us say some digital notes is the third option. Now you should give answer key. So click on the answer key. You have to select which is correct. So Google Classroom is an example of LMS. And then how many points you want to assign this? So let us say 1 point I want to assign this. So I'll just assign 1 point to this and then say done. So I have clicked on the answer and then I have given the marks and say done. Okay, required. So here you can see required. Required means he has to answer this question compulsorily in order to submit the form. So it's up to you if you want to highlight this. Since it is a test, you want them to do it. You can put required or you may not put. Okay, doesn't matter. Let me go to the next question. So click on this. Add question would come. So you can also add images in your question. So let me just show you how to do it. So just browse for image. So I'm just uploading some image and I want to ask something on that image, based on that image. Okay, something I have uploaded. Something you can ask. So which ICT tool does this logo correspond to? So once again, you can give them options. So let us say Google Meet and Google Classroom. I think that's enough. So let's give the answer key. So answer is Google Classroom. So I'll just give the answer. If you want to put some, comments or feedback, you can put it here. So right now I'll not do that. So 1 point and okay. Maybe I'll just show you one more question type and then I'll stop this. So short answer. Or okay. So Zoom, as you know, like Google Meet, you also have Zoom. So Zoom gives dash continuous minutes free time for a basic user. Okay. So the answer is, so you can put the answer. So click on the answer key and then you say 40 is the answer. Now he can put a number or he can put, he can write the matter there. So you add that. Put all the possibilities because he may write small letters, he may write capital letters, or he may write first letter capital, rest all small. So please make sure all of that is incorporated and mark all other answers incorrect. It's okay, and that's it. So yeah, I think this is good enough. So now my question is ready. Now you can see he's showing you the correct answers: 40, 40, 40. Any of these, if the student gives, it's correct. Okay. So 3 questions, 3 marks. That's okay. Now I'm going to close this. So this quiz now has 3 questions. So points you can put. So now 3 points. Due date, yeah, I want to put a due date. So I want them to complete this by today itself, today night. So that's okay. And topic. So this also comes under test. So assignments, quizzes, all comes under test. So I'll just click the topic test. And yeah, I want to give it to all the students and then you assign it. Okay, grade reporting, please make sure that you have checked this. I have checked this grade reporting and then I assign this. Okay, so I'll just go back to my class homepage. Now you can see in your stream, see, it's in a chronological order. We started here 11:15. We started welcome to the class, and then we gave them some content and all of that. It's in a chronological order. Now you can see something new has popped up here. Upcoming. So it gives you the deadlines. So due tomorrow, the assignment is due tomorrow, and today, this is due Wednesday. Okay. So now let me go back to the student account and let me attempt the assignment and quiz. After that, I'll show you the grading. Okay. So let me go back to the student account. So for the student in his classroom, how does it look like? So demo Hyderabad is the class. Now you can see here itself, in his home page itself, he can see what all things are due coming up. So click on that, enter the class. So new assignment on ICT tools. So let him click on that. So please remember, this is assignment, right? And what you can see is, so it is assigned to him. He has not turn in. Turn in means once he writes the assignment, once he writes the assignment, he completes it, he can turn in, means he can submit. Okay, I'm not going to submit because I have not done anything. So now he clicks on the work, he clicks on the form. Now if you see carefully, it has created this form on his name, HOD physics or whatever, H, the student H. I told you, create a copy for each student. Okay, so it has created a copy on his name. So now he has to write something. Uh, Now what we'll do is, so ICT tools, as we said, some students can copy things, right? So let me just take some content from net. So let us say he copies. And my aim is to show you that he does not do anything on his own, and then he copies. So let us say, let copy something, and then write something. Okay. So let us say this is what he has written. Okay. So if he's done, you can turn in. So I'll just close this. He did not turn in, so he has not submitted. Please keep that in mind. Now, one beautiful thing that you can also do is, before he submits, you can also track whether he is doing it or not. Now, this is the teacher account. Go to this assignment. So student work, see assigned, two students, it's assigned, right? Now he has not submitted yet. Okay, please remember that. So 0 turned in. So no one has turned in. Still you can check whether he is right attempting it or not. So click on his file. Click on his file. As a teacher, you would be able to see the status. Whether he has attempted it or how much he has completed, he has written half of it or little bit, all of that you can see before he submits. Okay, please keep this in mind. All right, I'll just go back to the student. So student has written it, and I told you about plagiarism. So the student also can check, if he has copied or not. Obviously he knows it, but he wants to check before he submits it to teacher. Please don't tell your students that such a facility is there. So they can run the originality report and they can modify it. Okay, but just keep this in mind. So as a student also, let me run the originality report. Okay, 3 are available, it's okay, no problem. So it's running the originality report. You can see under the file name, running originality report, and the student can see the originality report. So now let me click on that, view originality report, and right side it is saying 51% cited or quoted content. So click on that. So it is copied. So whatever he has highlighted, can you see this? Whatever he has highlighted, all of that is copied. So it is telling you that it is copied, and it is also telling you from where it is copied. So Wikipedia educational technology page. That's why I just showed you. This is the page from which we have copied it. So it is also telling us, the student or the teacher also, from where he has copied. Okay. So now he can change it because he knows that the teacher can catch him because he has copied. He has not submitted yet, so he can make the changes if he wishes. Okay, let me just close this. So this is the student. So let us assume he has not changed anything or he has changed any things, and then turn in. So let him submit this. So turn in. So one attachment will be submitted. So he's ready to submit that assignment. Yeah, turn in. So when you turn in, so your test is submitted. Okay, I'll come back. So now what else is there? The student also has to attempt a test, right? So I'm in the student page. I want to take the test. So this is the test once again. This is the assigned work. Mark as done. I have not yet done it. So you can click on this. So your email address will be recorded. So student is taking his test. His email address would come. So Google Class is an example of, it's an LMS. Let us say the student answers it wrong. CMS. Which ICT tool does this logo correspond to? I know it is Google Classroom, so I'll just click on Google Classroom. So let us say it's 40, so the student writes 40. and submit it. So if he wants, he can click on send a copy of my responses. He'll get a mail of his responses, or you just submit. So it's submitted. He can also view the score. So it will show him. So first one is wrong. So total points 2 by 3. So he has got 2 by 3. First one is wrong. Second one is right. Third one is right. So now he can check it. And then let me just close this. So this is how the student. So now, and let the student submit it. So mark as done. So 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 let him submit this. So now the student has submitted the assignment and the test, right? So let me go back to the teacher. So one turned in. So let me go back to the class. And now let me go to the classwork. So let me go to the assignment first. View assignment. So now you can see one turned in, one assigned. So this fellow has turned in, he has submitted, and one is assigned. This fellow is yet to do it. So now let me evaluate that. So click on his file, whatever he has submitted. And as a teacher, you can now evaluate it. So now you can also see if there are, we have run the plagiarism check, right? So you can see on the right side, no flagged passages. You can also see like the student has seen earlier, right? So what is copied and all of that, you can check that. So 51% is copied. So same thing, whatever the student has done, you can do it. You can check it at your end as a teacher. So now let me give the marks. So first one, backdrop. So backdrop, let us say he has written something. Okay, let me give 1 mark out of 2. Clarity in presentation, let me give 2 marks. Solution, see, I'm making use of the rubrics. Okay, now if you want to explore it, so more, so good feasible solution gives him 5 points, normal solutions gives him 3 points, attempted solution gives him 1 point. So let us say it's okay, so I'll give 3 points. So 3 plus 2 plus 1, so that would be, so let me just give the marks. So 6, so grade is 6, and you can return this grade to the student. Okay, or another feature is in the assignment you can comment. This is, you can add a comment to the student. So it says, so you can, whatever you feel you want to comment on, you can just copy, you can just select that and then click on this add a comment. You can add comments also, so the student, when you return it, he can also see these comments, so he can also get to know the feedback from you. What is what, how it is. Another one is you can also have a comment bank. So because your class will have some 100 students, let us assume that same mistake most of them make. So now you need not write this comment every time. So please look at this right side, the second one. First one is grading, which I have done, I am done with just now. Comment back, click on that. Now add to bank. So already I have added 2 things. Now add to bank. Now let me add something. Not up to the mark. Let me add one more. Add to bank. So all these are comments. So you are preloading the comments. Okay, so now I have 4 comments here. I have added 2 now. Earlier I had added 2. So 2 plus 2, 4. 4 comments which are there in your bank. So now what I'll do is, let us say I choose this. I want to put a comment. I don't need to type it. So go to the add a comment. Just click on hash. When you click on hash there, it will show you all the comments available in your comment bank. You can choose any of this. So let us say check spelling mistakes and then comment. So once you are done, once you have graded him and once you have given the comments, you can return it. Okay, you can, at the end of it, at the bottom you can see private comments. Now at the end of everything you want to say, you want to send a private comment to him, you can do that. So this is a private comment, only that student would be able to see it. So you can post that. So That would be a private comment for him for this entire assignment, and in the assignment all these comments will be there, and then you can return. So return this submission, return multiple submissions. So multiple submissions means, let us say all your students have done it. So if you see here, this is for this student. You can click on this next. It will take you to all the students, or you can click here. It will show all the students, all the students in your classroom. So I'll go to next. So obviously this fellow has not yet done it. So it's okay, don't worry. So like this, you can go to the next one, and then you can evaluate it here itself. And then in one page itself, you can do all of that. Okay. And now you can return this submission, return multiple submissions. As I have said, if all of them, if you have completed evaluating all of them, you can simply say return multiple submissions. So now I know only one student has returned it, so I'll just click return. So HOD physics, I mean H has got 6 marks, and you return his marks to him. Okay. So that's it, you have returned it to the student. So this is about assignment. How do you comment? How do you check for plagiarism? How do you grade it? And all of that, all manual grading. Okay. Now let me go back. So classwork, test on ICT tools. So one turned in, one assigned. Yes. So click on that. No, don't click on that. I'm sorry. So now go to this view assignment. So H has turned in, F has not turned in. It's only assigned. So click on H. So I think let's do one thing. I mean, I remember earlier, it said something like unsubmit. So don't worry, I'll quickly submit it again from F. So just give me a minute. Because I want to show you how can you just evaluate that. So I'll go to the second student login. So this is my second student. The first student has submitted the assignment. Now second student, I want him to submit the test on ICT tools. So if you're first time user, Google will try to help you that all these things you can do. Okay. So nothing to worry. So click on this. So yeah, this is the second student. So something. Okay. Let him answer this. So okay. So open assignment, because I'm seeing the student view, right? So just give me a minute. I'll just go back to the second student. Because I'm just trying to show you from here itself, different logins, so it is not attaching the work actually. So just give me a minute. I'll just yeah, because he'll not allow you to do it again. So view score. Just give me a minute. So both of them have turned in, because I'm trying to show you here. Okay, no problem. Let me import the grades. So this is teacher account, by the way. Okay, this is teacher account. So let me import the grades. It's already tested. I mean, it's already done, right? So they have already submitted it. So now let me import the grades as the teacher. So they already would have seen their marks after submitting the test, but I want to give them officially, right? So when you click on import the grades, now you can see 2 by 3. So the first student has got 2 marks, the second student has got 1 mark. So what you can do, so it is imported. So once you have imported for all the students, just click on this, and then return. So return means officially you are sending their marks to the students of the test quiz, right? So return. So that's it. So now 0 turned in, 0 assigned, 2 graded. So 2 students, both are graded. So go back to this. Let me close all other things just to avoid confusion. So let me close all of this. So this is my class, this is my teacher account, and classwork. Both are done, right? So now I'll go to grades. So people, grades are there. So I'll go to grades first, then I'll come back to people. So go to grades. So now you can see the marks. Can you see the marks? So you can see the marks. So for example, H has got 2 marks in the test and out of 3, and in the assignment he has got 6 out of 10, and F, as you know, the second student, he has only submitted the test, he has not submitted the assignment. Assuming that he has submitted the assignment also, let us assume that he has submitted the assignment, you can give the marks here itself. So 5 out of 10, 7. But I don't want to show you now, do it again and show you. So let me give him some marks. So let us say 7 marks you want to give. So it will be saved here itself. So, and then you can also return. So you have given the marks to the second student also, right? But you want him to know his marks, so you can return it here. So see, his Google is very smart. So he tells us, see, he has not done it. Are you sure you want to return it? Assuming that he has done it and I have evaluated it, so let me say return. No problem. So return. So you don't do this, you will evaluate the assignment manually and then you submit it back. Okay, return it back. So this is how your marks look like. Okay, so now we have seen how to give a test, how to give a quiz, assignment and a quiz. Now I'll just go back to people. Now you can see the students, click on one student. So when you click on one student, you can see what all things he has done. I mean, so two things you have given him. One is test and another is assignment on ICT tools, and he has got 2 marks and he has got 6 marks here. Now the beauty of this is you can mail the entire summary of the student's progress. You can see here on the right side, can you see mail, mail post thing symbol. So email student or guardians, just click on that. So it will send a mail from the teacher account. So you are now mailing to the students. So I'll just say, please check the progress of first semester, and you want to include the student work summary. So click on that. Now you can also mail it to the guardians. So right now my G Suite administrator has not given me privileges to add guardians. If you have a G Suite for education, you can ask your administrator to activate this. It is very simple. They can just simply activate it. So beside the student, you can also get guardians. So teacher can invite the guardians. This is very important. I mean, if you want the parents or parents or sisters or anyone, I mean, mother or father to know the progress of the student, you can do this. Okay, you can add a guardian in Google Classroom. So right now my G Suite administrator has not given me the privileges, so I'm not able to show you, but please keep this in mind. Here next to the student, in the guardian email address would come. Okay, and the teacher can invite the guardians. He can put the guardians to the corresponding students. This is feasible in Google Classroom. Please keep this in mind. And then you say send. That's it. So now I am sending the progress report to the student as well as the guardians. Okay, so I'll come back to this. So if you want to see, for example, if you want to see, the progress, the mail that I have sent, just give me 1 minute. I can just show you. It's okay. Just to make it complete. That's all. Okay, nothing else. So just to make it complete. So see HOD progress in demo. I mean, so see this. So Google Classroom from Rakesh Roshan is the teacher. Please check the progress of first semester. Now see, he can get, so he or his guardians will get a mail like this. So this is the beauty of Google Classroom. Okay. Anyways, so like that you can do for all the students. Okay. Anyways, so come to grades. So people, we can see all the people and then their progress. Go to grades and now click on this. Please come down. I have told you about this class codes. I have told you about the Meet. Now once again, Meet link. So if you think, no, I do not want a permanent link because you doubt that your students may give the link to someone else, some outsider may join either from your domain, G Suite domain, or completely outsider. So if you are worried about it, nothing to worry. So you can reset this Meet link. So when you reset the Meet link, I told you that you can have one permanent link that gets changed. So it gets changed to something else. I'll just show you. I'll just reset it and then show you. So for example, this one is some PE4O at the end, right? So I'll just reset it. Now Google will create a new permanent meet link. So something at the end UURX. So now this would be the new link. So it is up to you as a teacher. You want to keep the permanent link, same link every time, or you want to change it for every class. You can simply do it from here. Okay. So and you can make it visible to students, or you need not make it visible. So yeah. Now the last one is grade calculation. So now no overall grade. Now total points. So total points. It's very simple. So he get, let us say, 10 marks is quiz and 10 marks is assignment. So total 20 marks. He'll get 6 in quiz and 5 in assignment. So 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. That's all. So total points will show that, and then show overall grade to students. Click OK and then save this. So just save this. Now you can see. So can you see now? Now he is giving the overall grade. So 1.5 out of 3 and then 6.5 out of 10. So total out of 13 marks, he has got 6.5 plus 1.5. So 7, 8, 8 marks. That amounts to 61.54. I mean, this is the class average, by the way. So this student, so 6 plus 2, 8 out of 13. This fellow also 8 out of 13. So both of them have got the same percentage. So the student can see the overall grade. You can also see the overall grade and the class average also. This is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is, come back to this. Now we have put total points, right? There is one more, if you have seen, weighted by category. This is something interesting. If you want to explore, you can explore. So weighted by category, you add a grade category. Now I'll tell you first of all what is meant by weighted by category. You give assignments and you give quizzes to your students. But general, on a general notion, you know that assignments generally people copy. So you do not want to give equal weightage to the assignment and to the quiz. So what I want to do, maybe a teacher like me, I will give only 30% weightage to the assignment and 70% weightage for the quiz. Not that quizzes cannot be copied, but just I am telling you, okay? 30% weightage I want to give to the assignment and 70% weightage I want to give to the quiz. You need not calculate it manually. Google Classroom does it for you. So use weighted by category. So which one? So you can type. So assignment category, you want to give 30% weightage. Add category. So quiz category, you want to give a weightage of 70%. So 30 plus 70, total 100. So you have added two categories. Assignment is 30%, quiz is 70%. So rest all remains the same. Just save this. Just save this. Okay. So go back to your class. So you can do it, before itself. So now I'll just show you. So go back to the class. Now go to classwork. Create. Let us say you want to create a quiz. Now I'm not going to show you onto the left. So here on the right side, now you can see grade category. Can you see a grade category? Earlier we didn't have this. I mean, it said nothing. So now I have two categories. Now you want to put this is a quiz, right? Now I want to put this into quiz category. So by default, this whenever he submits, 70% of these marks will be considered. So if you put, for example, assignment category, you have created two categories, right? So 30% marks only would be counted for his overall grade. This is very, very important. You can try it out. Else you want to keep it simple, just give equal marks. Okay. So maybe I think I'll engage for 10 more minutes, 10-15 more minutes possibly. Okay, so now create. I want to just finish off the rest of the things. So assignment is done, quiz is done. Now question. Question is very simple. So you are done with your class, right? So you want to know. It's like a feedback. I mean, you want to know from your students. How was the class? Something like that. So you can enter the question. Once again, it could be a short answer question. I'll just put a multiple choice for simplicity. So options. Say awesome. I say good. I'll just say okay. So it's not a quiz. It's just you are asking a question. So that's it. So your question is, how was the session today? Okay. So you have taken a class for your students. Now you just want to know the feedback. Okay. So yeah. Now you can see it's not for grading, so ungraded. Okay, this is ungraded. No due date, or you can put a due date. It's up to you. Topic, you can create a topic. This is like, you can say feedback. You can create a new topic, feedback. Okay, students can see class summary. You don't mind each of them looking the final poll. You don't mind that. Okay, so if you are very particular that no, student should not know, one student should not know the what others have told about the class, you can uncheck this. I'm okay with that. So students can see class summary, and I can ask once again. You can ask right away. You can schedule it. You can save the draft. Okay, so I'll just ask it right away. No problem. No grade category. It's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ask, because I put ungraded. So now I'll just go back to the student. Just answer this once. Yeah, I'll take all the questions. At the end of the session, I will take all the questions. I mean, I'll not skip anything. Don't worry. So yeah. So please note that. So this is a student. So click on that. Teacher has posted a new question. How was the session today? So you can see here your answer. Now I have not answered. So I'll say okay, it's good, and then turn in. Yeah, it's okay. You won't be able to make changes to answer after you submit. No problem. This is my honest feedback on the session. That's okay. So I have turned in. Now you can see this student is able to see the entire summary. So only till now one student has responded. So it is showing this. And as and when the others respond, since I have checked, student can see summary. All the students can see the summary. So you can see your classmates will see your answer in summary. Doesn't matter. Okay. So this is how you can use that. And assignment, quiz, question. So you can use it as a poll. You can use it as exit slip. Exit slip means once at the end of the session, you want to know that. Material. From the stream itself, you can post the material, or from here also you can post the material. So title, something, material for chapter 2. Now you can add a file. You can do it from your devices. Yeah, upload it. So you are sending once again handouts, notes, or something. Okay. So topic, I'll create a topic. I'll create a new topic saying material, and then post. Okay. So now I'll go back to stream. Now the beauty of topics. Now I've told you about the topics. Now you may be wondering, so why these topics? Now go to classwork. Now you can see it as organized. So all your tests are at one place. You can see all your test assignment. All of them would be at one place. You can see all the feedbacks are at one place. Next time you do this, just link it to the topic. It will come under this. All your materials would be at one place. And you can see here, left side, all topics. You want to see all the topics? Just click all the topics. You can see all of them. You want to see only material? You can click that. Whatever you have posted from the starting of your class, 2 months back, whatever. You can see only material here. You want to see only feedback, all the feedbacks, you can see here. But you want to see only the tests that you have given in the past 2 months. Let us say your class is active for the 2 months. You can see all of that. So this is the beauty of having topics. If you do not have topics, what will happen? It will all be, in the chronological order. So you are making it more structured. Okay. So we are done with. So you can also create a new topic here. So just click on that, add a topic. Uh, Let us say something. Something you can do. So whenever you are, generally when you start a class, you give an introduction, right? So all your content related to introduction, you can just put it in the introduction. Okay. So this is all about stream. This is all about the classwork. Uh, just give me a minute. Meet, I have told you. Google Calendar, I have told you. Now class drive folder. So now whatever you are sharing it, whatever they are submitting back, all of that is in your class drive folder. So I'll just click on that. It will take me to a dedicated folder in my Google Drive where everything related to this class. It could be material, it could be quizzes, it could be the assignment submitted back. So for example, assignment on ICT tools. Click on that. You can see the responses. 2 students have responded. You can see all the responses right here in your drive. It will be there forever. Okay, so please keep this in mind. All the content of this class would be available here. So you can select it from here, or you just go back to your demo class. I mean, or you go to all the classes. I'll just go to all the classes. This is our class. The first one is our class, right? So you can see two symbols here. Can you see two symbols? You click on this folder symbol. What it will do is, just now whatever I have told you, it will take you directly to the folder. Okay, so it will take you directly to the folder where all the content is there. Or you click this. This is a gradebook symbol. You click on this. It will take you to the directly to the gradebook. Okay, so all of these you can do with the help of Google Classroom. So I'll just go back to this, and stream we have discussed. So you can start, you can share things. As I told you, you can post it later, you can add anything. PPT, you do a PPT and then you explain it, right? So you can add PPT, you can add YouTube. So let me show you just one more. YouTube, anything you can add. So anything. You can search right away. Anything you can add. So you want to add, one video which is online. You can just post it. So Google Classroom is LMS. I told you there are so many LMS. Edmodo is also one free LMS. So you can choose anything or anything related to your content. You can just post it to the students, and the students can view it there. Okay. So this is about the classwork. It's organized. So I have told you everything here: assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post. The last one. So click on reuse post. You would have already taken a feedback sometime back, or you would have given an assignment. Now you can select that. You don't want to type it again and again and again. Okay, so if you want to do that, you just have to select reuse post. So what it does is, it's just taking a bit of time, so nothing to worry. So what it does is, it will show you all the posts. You can select a particular post and then you can repost it right now for this class or any other class. It's getting loaded, taking a bit of time. Let me try it once again. Yeah, so now it is across all your classes. You can use any post from any of your classes. For example, so see, so I want to use this. How was this feedback, for example? So reuse that. You don't want to type it again and again. So now it will take you directly here. See, you want to make some changes, you can change right away here, and then you ask. Let us say this is tomorrow. Okay, yeah, you ask. So I hope it is clear. So you can reuse the post from across your classes. It is not only limited to this class. Any post in all other classes, you can use it here like a fresh post with modifications included. So that's about stream. That's about classwork. That's about people, as I told you. Now you can also add teachers. By the way, I just forgot to tell you. So you can also add co-teachers. Click on that, and then you invite. So same classroom, you have let us say, physics, chemistry, mathematics, 3 teachers you want to have, you can have. So I guess you can invite it right away here to the teachers. So I think teachers will have all the privileges that you have. So you can invite teachers. I guess per class you can invite 20 teachers. Yeah, so you can invite 20 teachers. So 20 teachers are allowed for per one classroom. And students, I've already told you, you can click on it, entire thing about the student will come. So turned in, only turned in, you can see whether this fellow has returned. Whatever he has returned so far, you can see missing. So you can also put due dates, right? So if he has not submitted, it will come as missing. If he has submitted later, it will come as done late, something like that. It will come. Okay. So and then I have told you about the grades, and I have also told you about the different mechanisms in which you can see the grades. So all the details, you can change all of it. So students can comment only, students can post. You can allow the students can post and comment. You can allow only the teachers can post or comment. So you can choose anything. Meet I have told you, grading calculation I have told you, yeah, grade categories I have told you. So I guess so let me just save this. So more or less, this is all about the Google Classroom.